Hello, Kirk MacDowell. I'm chairman of the LINC committee. LINC is the Leadership Identification and Nominating Committee, and we are here to run and administer the 2026 ESA Board of Director elections. Before I get started, I would very much like to thank the LINC committee, who has worked tirelessly to bring you a good and qualified slate of candidates. Those members are Kelly Bond, Joe Colosimo, Mark Kellenberg, Tracy Larson, Aaron Selma, and a special thank you to Stu Forsheimer, good friend of mine, who graciously gave up his position so Aaron could come on to the committee. We like to rotate people in and out, and so special thanks to Stu. LINC's mission is to find quality and qualified candidates to serve you, our members of ESA. Each candidate has been vetted by ESA to be either the primary or the alternate voting member of their company, and a outside source has also verified that these people are in good standing in their community, in the industry, and at their company. So here's how it's going to work, a little bit different from last year. I am going to interview the three non-contested candidates, and we'll talk about that in a second. And then I'm going to interview each contested candidate one-on-one, so you have a chance to take a look at all the candidates and make your selections. Certain dates are very, very important, and this is all you need to do is remember these dates and you're good. On April 21st, ESA will send out to the primary voting rep ballots to be filled out by the primary voting rep of your company. If you don't know who that is, you can talk to Taylor Criddle from ESA or myself. We'd be happy to help you. Secondarily, if we don't hear back from the primary vote member of the company, on April 28th, about a week later, we send it out to the primary and to the alternate member as well, so we make sure we get the votes back in. On May 14th, all the ballots are due by 2 p.m. Central Time. I then, as LINC chair, will call each member and let them know if they made it or they did not make it. And then on June 1st at ESX, because I know you're all going, all the board, the new board will be sworn in along with our new chairman, Jeremy Bates, and Kevin Stone, of course, will be stepping down then as chairman. It's been great working with Kevin, and I look forward to working with Jeremy in 2026, 2027. So here's where we are now. Let's talk about contested and non-contested election today. So contested does not mean, it's not a negative term. Contested means we have more people running for an office than we have slots. So the contested elections are for the associate members. We have three people running. We have Dean Belisle, who's the incumbent from DMP. We have Don Morrow from Highland Tech, and we have Quentin Gunther from Residio. So that will be, you'll be able to vote for one of those three, and we're going to be interviewing all three candidates, so you'll be able to see that after this video is over. On the national security company director, or national company director, I should say, we have two people running. We have Holly Borgman from ADT, and we have Brian Robertson from Comcast. And neither one of those are incumbents, so you will have a chance to listen to all these people and then make your vote accordingly. We are very excited about having you participate in ESA elections. Please vote. We are honored to do this on behalf of all members and look forward to watching the videos with you after they're all done. I am excited about having you guys here today. I'm going to first turn, let me tell you why Randall's not on camera. He's not on camera because he's really sick today. And so he appropriately so said, I'm not going to be on camera. So we will give him that grace. But I'm going to at first ask Neil and Randall, and then I'm going to come to Jordan. Let me start with you, Neil. What's the most compelling aspect about serving on the board in 2025? And then I'm going to do a follow-on question. So I'll just ask it to you now, but I'll remind you in case. It's kind of like a political thing. You know, they have to remind the candidates like 18 times what the question is. What would you tell somebody why they should serve on the board? So let's start with that, because that's probably more compelling. Why should somebody serve on the board of directors for ESA?
I'm Neil Atha, president of Atronic Alarms, which is a family-owned business. We're an integrator based in Lenexa, Kansas. It was founded in 1982 by my dad, and I've been working with him and my brothers over the past 15 years and have helped grow the business from 35 employees to over 100, and from one location to now 5 across Kansas, Missouri, and Nebraska. So beyond my past 2 years of board membership on ESA, I'm also president of the Kansas City Burglar and Fire Alarm Association, treasurer of ESA of Missouri, or the Missouri Burglar and Fire Alarm Association, and Kansas City Crime Stoppers. So
Wow.
Let's see here. What was the question again? What was the most compelling aspect about serving on the board? Is that
so let's talk about the most compelling aspect about serving and kind of what surprised you about serving. Let's talk about compelling. Why should somebody? And then kind of your take on serving on the board of directors.
Well, yeah, I'll say this. The highlight for me was probably attending the ESA board planning meeting. There was a 2-day event hosted by the incoming chair. Let us sit down and set the direction for the association over the next 2-year term. And just being in that room with the fellow board members and aligning priorities, digging into what where ESA is heading. I thought it was really energizing. It reinforced to me why this work matters, and I left it hoping that I would be able to be serving on the board again, because I knew my term was coming to an end, and having just gone through that exercise, it made me excited about continuing with those initiatives. So
that's great. And tell me about how would you categorize somebody wanting to serve on, but may not be able to do that or understand really what they need to do to serve. So tell me a little bit about how you would guide somebody or mentor somebody about if they wanted to serve on the board of directors in 2 to 4 years from now.
Yeah, I mean, it's a commitment. I'd say it's worth it, though. I mean, to be on a board with all of the industry leaders that we have, I'd say, we try to accommodate as much as we can with the time commitments. Most of our meetings are virtual, but then there's the in-person events and representing our industry. I think it's an honor for me to have served on the board. It's an industry that's been part of my family for over 40 years, and it feels like the best way to give back and help shape where the industry is heading. We have a lot of change going on in the industry, and I think trying to be part of that and try and set the next generation up for success is really important.
That's great. Hey, Randall, I'm going to turn to you because you're on mute, but I'm going to turn to you. So hopefully you're not coughing again. I'm sorry you're sick, my friend. Tell me about your experience serving on the board. Kind of give me the highlights of what you think have been the most important things about serving on the board and how you're giving back.
Yeah, thank you, Kirk. No, again, Randall Renfroe with Allstate Security, 100 anniversary serving this year for our company, based out of Amarillo, Texas, and third generation. Same as like Neil and a lot of other people, family owned and operated. So no, the most compelling thing for myself this last year was being able to be a part of the board and finishing my first, being my first full term, and being able to continue that family legacy of being able to serve on the board and help, bring, I think, awareness to like AI. I think the amount of things that I've been a part of that have helped, structure or set up boards or do different things. I think that's really compelling. The amount of video monitoring that we've been able to talk about and bring awareness to on the board, it seems like something that's been really, attractive to me. So I appreciated being a part of that. And then just lastly, the honor it is to serve with the other people that are on the board. It is definitely the who's who that serve on there, and it's an honor to be selected to be a part of that.
Hey, thanks, Randall. I don't think there's one person I haven't spoken to who says 2 years is too short, right? You just get in the groove, and then all of a sudden you're coming up for reelection again, and you
Yeah.
guys are not being reelected again, but you're going to serve a second term. So, do you think the second term? Do you have more comfort under your belt? Do you think the second term is going to be different? We have a new chairperson coming in. We have Jeremy Bates coming in, taking over for Kevin Stone. Do you think that it's going to change significantly from 20 from your first 2 years to your second 2 years?
Yeah, I think it will. I think that each year, each leader has done it differently, and it's been really amazing for me because I'm 20 years into doing this and still just about to turn 40, and I still feel like I have so much to learn from so many people. And one of the people, Jordan, that's on here, always been a big fan of his and learning from him. And I think that that's what's really interesting about the board is that you get to go and I always say R&D, rip off and duplicate. You get to really learn from all of these really great men and women, and you get to go and instill those same ethics or attitude or performance or whatever it may be into your company. And I've always been a really big promoter of the fact that that's how my company has got to where we are today, is from learning from all these other people.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and I think giving back is absolutely key. And you and Neil talked about that. Uh, it's interesting when you serve on the board of directors, you represent not only your company, but you represent everyone that fits under that umbrella. So if you're an associate member or a national associate, a member of the board, or a national company member of the board, or an integrator member of the board, you serve at the direction of all of those people. So you represent all of those. So armed with that, it is so neat that ESA has launched AI initiatives. They're launching more initiatives that I can't go into today, but there's some very, very exciting things coming at ESA. They're always forward thinking, and always on the forefront of bringing in people into board positions that not only have been successful in their own career, but really willing to give back. So thanks very much. So Jordan, uh, thank you for being on the board in 2026, 2027. I want you to tell the listeners a little bit about you, how you got in the industry, and what's your excitement level about serving on the board. I'll put you on the spot.
Sure. So I am Jordan Jackson. I am the second generation owner of Security Central in the Denver, Colorado area. How I got in the industry, I always say, was through indentured servanthood. I married the middle daughter of my father-in-law, and he's the one that started the company back in 1969. And even though I was in a different career in banking, I was helping on the side, and then he convinced me to come be his partner. And so we were partners for about 20 years, and he long since retired a long time ago. But we continue on the family business and try to make the Denver community both a safer and a better place. And as far as my excitement level for serving on the board, I'm going to be honest, I don't get real excited about much. And yet I do have a high sense of responsibility, and I feel that it is important to help, to give back, and to just be a part of this industry that has been so good to me and my family through the years. And so with that, I am excited to be a part of the board.
Hey, well, listen, thank you. And I know that you chair ESTA, and you chair, which is a group of integrators that share common. Well, tell us a little bit about ESTA, just so that people can understand kind of how you've led that group.
Sure. So ESTA is the Electronic Security and Technology Association. It's one of the peer sharing groups in our industry. So it's a group of 20 to 25 companies. We keep it intentionally that size because that's considered the sweet spot for sharing, where we're all fairly similar in company size and the type of work that we do spread out across the country in non-competing geographic territories so that we can share fully. So it's sharing financials, it's sharing best practices, it's sharing our victories and our failures, our defeats, right? So that we can all learn from one another and keep getting better. And so I've been the president there for the last, I don't know, handful of years or anyway, and really trying to just continue to raise the level of value in the organization by bringing more experts to our meetings, by bringing more ideas, and really trying to just help us all keep up with the changes that are happening in our industry.
Well, that's great. And so everybody knows ESTA is not an association you can join. It is a closed group of companies that share this information. But I really want you to talk about that because ESA, ESA will never replace ESTA, right? But as an association, we just can't do that. However, ESA has some really interesting things in the works for 2026 that I think members are going to be very excited about. Mentoring and sharing and exchanging ideas is all about what ESA does, and that's all about what ESX does. So I'm going to make my plug for ESX to George DeMarco doesn't beat me up after this call. We want to see you in ESX because a couple of things. Number one, you get to go to the show. Number two, you get to learn from peers. And number three, you get to see these gentlemen sworn in as your board of directors for 2026. So, gentlemen, I want to thank you very, very much for your time today. I know it's getting late in the day for East Coasters, so I just want to thank you very much. And I look forward to seeing all of you June 1st in right outside Dallas, Texas, in Irving, Texas. I think it's Irving, for ESA, and look forward to seeing you all. So thanks very much. Thanks for tuning in, ESA members.